Stepanakert, a well-kept town with a handful of luxury hotels and a booming construction industry. It's also home to the parliament of the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic, an entity that nobody else in the world officially recognizes. Authorities here are trying to make a clean break with the past. There are sporadic clashes with Azerbaijani soldiers over the ceasefire line. The latest came in March. But the region's president insists that his priority is providing economic stability.
Right now we're carrying out activities to somehow heal the wounds of the war and to raise living standards in the Republic. We're confident international recognition is only a matter of time.
In the town of Shushi, signs of the long and bitter war are not hard to find. Many of those living here fled from various parts of Azerbaijan, and now they survive on government benefits and what they can produce off small plots of land. It's 14 years now since the fighting finished, and slowly aid money is trickling into Shushi. But although old apartment blocks and even this historic mosque are being renovated, life for most refugees here is tough. Karine Petrosyan looks after her 4-year-old grandson, Rudolf. Her husband was killed fighting for the Armenian forces in the last year of the conflict. She says it's unthinkable that Nagorno-Karabakh could ever belong to Azerbaijan.
We can't forget the things we experienced. There's no way this land will be in the hands of Azerbaijan again. Too many people died. Too much blood was shed. We can't forget.
The war created as many as 1 million refugees. While ethnic Armenians fled to Nagorno-Karabakh, hundreds of thousands of Azeris headed for Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan. Some human rights campaigners in Nagorno-Karabakh say it's time they were welcomed back.
Right now it's a mono-ethnic society here in Nagorno-Karabakh. Of course, our organization trying to convince our population that the refugees has a right to return to their homeland, because before the conflict they was the member of our society.
One unresolved issue is the buffer zones, large areas outside the Nagorno-Karabakh enclave, but still under its control. Nagorno-Karabakh calls them a vital part of national security. Azerbaijan says they're illegal. This village lies in one such zone, deserted by its Azeri inhabitants. This Armenian family say they were encouraged to settle there.
We got loans to buy domestic animals, and there are plans for the government to pay for rebuilding our house.
Back in the capital, these young men are starting 2 years of military service. With talks involving the international community almost frozen, Nagorno-Karabakh says its army must be ready for a future conflict.
Nagorno-Karabakh's army is a people's army. It's part and parcel of the people and vice versa. In the case of a threat, the entire population will defend the motherland.
Officials here admit that getting international recognition will be a hard nut to crack. But for most ordinary people, the priority is improving their standard of living and making sure there's no return to the dark years of war. Nadeem Barber, Al Jazeera, Nagorno-Karabakh.